Imagine a book that delves deep into the invisible and unacknowledged rules that govern our daily lives. This is The Fine Print. Penned by the masterful hand of David K. Johnston, a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist, this book takes us on a journey into the labyrinth of contracts, rules, and regulations that silently shape our existence. The Fine Print is far more than just a book. It is an exploration, a revelation of the unseen mechanisms that control our world. It dares to delve into the minutiae of our everyday lives, revealing the intricate web of contracts that bind us, the rules we unconsciously obey, and the regulations that subtly, yet undeniably, influence our decisions. And who better to guide us through this complex terrain than David K. Johnston? With his distinguished background in investigative journalism, Johnston possesses a knack for uncovering hidden truths and bringing them to light. He spent a career digging into the details that others overlook, and in The Fine Print, he applies this same meticulous attention to the systems that govern our lives. Johnston's writing is not only insightful but also engaging. He presents his findings not as a dry academic study, but as a compelling narrative that draws the reader in. Each page of The Fine Print is filled with fascinating revelations, unexpected connections, and thought-provoking insights. As we turn the pages, we find ourselves questioning our assumptions, re-evaluating our understanding of the world, and seeing our daily lives in a new light. This book is not just a critique of the systems that bind us, it is also a call to awareness. It urges us to question, to explore, to seek out the hidden truths of our existence. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to delve into the fine print of our lives, and to discern the unseen forces that shape our world. The Fine Print is a wake-up call, opening our eyes to the hidden truths of our everyday existence. The Fine Print isn't just a book, it's a mirror reflecting the hidden mechanisms of our society. It unravels the complex interplay of corporate power, taxation, monopolies, and deregulation. Four themes that, while may seem distinct, are intimately intertwined. Imagine the corporate power as a colossal titan, a Goliath that looms over the world, its hands reaching into every corner of our lives. This power isn't wielded with a heavy hand, but with a subtle manipulation of laws and regulations that often go unnoticed. The Fine Print uncovers the far-reaching influence of corporations, a power that is often invisible to the naked eye. Then comes taxation. It's not just about the money we owe the government, but also about how the wealthy and powerful can artfully dodge these obligations. The book delves into the labyrinthine world of tax codes, revealing how they are manipulated to benefit the affluent, often at the expense of the common citizen. Monopolies, the third theme, are like the hidden kings and queens of industries. They control markets, dictate prices, and essentially play puppeteer to consumer choices. The Fine Print exposes the rise of these invisible monopolies and their impact on our daily lives. Lastly, there's deregulation. It's a word that sounds benign, even positive, like a loosening of the reins. But the Fine Print reveals a darker side to it. Deregulation often leads to a power vacuum that corporations are only too happy to fill, often with little regard for the public interest. Each of these themes, like threads in a tapestry, are woven together to form the fabric of our society. And it's through the Fine Print that we begin to see this tapestry in its entirety, the good and the bad, the visible and the invisible. The Fine Print takes us on a journey, revealing the invisible strings pulled by those in power. It's a journey that uncovers the unseen, the overlooked, and the ignored, and in doing so, empowers us to see the world in a new light. Johnston's book doesn't just present the problems, it reveals the solutions. And that's the beauty of the Fine Print. It's not just a critical analysis of our society's issues, but a roadmap on how to navigate through them. One of the most eye-opening revelations in the book is the manipulation of tax laws. Johnston unravels the complex web of tax codes and reveals how corporations and the wealthy often exploit these laws to their advantage. This isn't just about finding loopholes, it's about a system that has been deliberately designed to favor those at the top. But Johnston doesn't just expose this unfair practice. He also points out the potential solutions, like simplifying the tax code and closing the loopholes that allow tax evasion. Next, we delve into the creation of monopolies. Johnston shows us how a handful of corporations control significant sectors of our economy, stifling competition and innovation. He sheds light on how these monopolies have been allowed to form, often through lax oversight and deregulation. But again, Johnston doesn't leave us in despair. He calls for stronger antitrust laws and a renewed commitment to competition. Then there's the impact of deregulation. Johnston argues that the push for deregulation often serves the interests of the powerful, while leaving the average citizen vulnerable. He paints a clear picture of the consequences, from the financial crisis of 2008 to the growing wealth gap. But Johnston isn't just about pointing out the problems. He advocates for a balance, where necessary regulations are enforced to protect consumers and ensure a fair marketplace. Highlighting Johnston's call for transparency and accountability, the fine print is not just a critique, but a call to action. It's a call for each of us to be more informed, more engaged, and more proactive. The fine print leaves us with an important question: how can we reclaim our power? The answer, according to Johnston, lies in understanding the issues demanding transparency and holding those in power accountable. And that, in essence, is the power of the fine print. You might wonder why you should read the fine print. The answer? To become an informed citizen. The world we live in is complex, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the intricate mechanisms that govern our society. We often take things at face value, not realizing that beneath the surface, there's a world of information waiting to be unearthed. And that's where the fine print comes in. Reading the fine print is like being handed a pair of X-ray glasses. It allows you to see and understand these hidden mechanisms. It's a deep dive into the workings of our world, shedding light on the unseen forces that shape our lives. The book isn't just about exposing these mechanisms, but also about empowering you to understand them. By reading the fine print, you're not just passively consuming information, you're actively engaging with it. You're challenging preconceived notions, questioning established systems, and most importantly, learning to think critically. It's about becoming a more informed citizen, a more conscious participant in your own life. Imagine being able to discern the subtle nuances in the world around you, to see past the surface and understand the underlying dynamics at play. Imagine being able to make more informed decisions, not just for yourself, but for your community and even for society at large. That's the power of reading the fine print. But it's not just about understanding the world, it's about changing it. The fine print doesn't just inform, it inspires. It's a call to action, urging readers to question, to challenge, and to change. It's about realizing that the world is not set in stone, that we have the power to shape it, to make it better. So why read the fine print? Because it's more than just a book. It's a tool for understanding, a catalyst for change, a guide to navigating the complexities of the world around us. It's about not just surviving in our society, but thriving in it. The fine print is more than a book, it's an invitation to challenge the status quo. The fine print may be a heavy read, but it's a necessary one. We've journeyed through the intrigue, grappled with the unseen, and uncovered truths that lay beneath the surface. This book has underscored the importance of being an informed citizen, of peeling back layers to reveal the facts that often hide in plain sight. The fine print encourages us to question, to probe, and to seek understanding. It reminds us that the power of knowledge is immense, and in our hands, it becomes a tool for transformation. This book doesn't just narrate a story, it imparts wisdom, it fosters critical thinking, and it nudges us towards becoming better versions of ourselves. Through its pages, the fine print has demonstrated that being informed isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And remember, the journey to understanding begins not with grand gestures, but with small, deliberate steps. So, are you ready to uncover the fine print of your life? The journey begins with the turn of a page.